TLCom Capital, the Africa-focused venture capital firm, announced recently the final close of Tide Africa Fund 2, its second fund for technology in Africa, valued at $154 million. The new fund accelerates the firm's mission to partner with elite founders to tackle the continent's biggest and most complex challenges with innovative solutions. And I'm pleased to say Maurizio Cael, the founder and managing partner of the firm, joins me now from Johannesburg with more insight. Maurizio Cael, founder and managing partner at TLCom Capital, thank you so much for joining me on Channel's Business Global. Please provide me with some insight into the investment strategy of this Tide Africa 2 fund.
Yes, thank you for having me. The strategy is pretty straightforward. We back African entrepreneurs that use technology, that leverage technology to try and attack some significant Africa problems. So it's tech-enabled anything. It can be fintech, but it can be logistics, it can be agri, it can be education, health. So it's the entrepreneur that tell us where the opportunities are, but we need to see that technology plays an important role because it scales a lot faster and the economics are better. So that's the focus of our strategy.
Maurizio, is it just fintech? Because of course we know the fintech ecosystem has evolved rapidly over the years. I suppose if we were having this discussion 5 years ago, it'd be quite new. Is that area still new, or are there other areas?
No, I think fintech is the easiest part because there's no goods to move, there's no products to manufacture. It's just easier to go around with bits and money. But fintech is really the general rehearsal of how digitization is affecting all parts of GDP. So there's life well beyond fintech. In fact, fintech remains an important piece, but I think it's less than 50% of what we see. And we see around 1,000 companies per year investing in 5 or 6. But there's agri, there's education, there's energy, there's logistics, there's commerce, there's all sorts of different parts. So fintech is a good example of what digitization can do and is obviously the first in the sequence, but there's a lot of life beyond fintech, definitely.
The spring meetings of the International Monetary Fund, they've just wrapped in Washington. Good growth projections, I would say, for the continent, although risk appetite, ebbs and flows. What is the sort of risk appetite you find amongst your clients?
So when we look at our investors, we are fortunate to have investors that recognize the upside of Africa, not just the risk associated to it. But it is true that still in the mind of the vast majority of global capital, Africa carries a perceived risk that is higher than reality. When you think about in specific what we do, which is invest in early stage technology companies, the technology risk in African companies is very, very low. It's actually much lower than anywhere else. We're not talking about inventing new technologies. We're talking applying existing, very proven technology to innovative business models. So the risk is not at all in the technology side. And also on the Africa macro, these are initiatives that last 10 years, so go through cycles, and we shouldn't be looking at the quarterly numbers to decide whether or not Africa is risky.
Absolutely. Yes, of course. When you talk about investing on the continent, a lot of people talk about the brain drain too. I mentioned fintech. There's been, massive interest from Silicon Valley to a lot of these entrepreneurs. They get loads of money. Lo and behold, in a couple of years' time, you're interviewing them from sunny California. They've forgotten about back home. But corporate social responsibility is very important, Maurizio. Talk to me about what TLCom Capital do to contribute to the economic growth and development of Africa, which is, of course, fundamental.
Yeah, absolutely. You're raising a very important point. There is the necessity of making Africa attractive to the best minds and brains in every front, and including the technology side. I think that what we're trying to do with the fact that we create availability of local capital, and our offices are in Lagos and Nairobi, so we're definitely local. And you see me, I'm Italian, but the rest of the 15 people in the team are African. We are trying to create the conditions to communicate very clearly to entrepreneurs that there is no need to go to the UK or to the US, because there is enough capital on the ground and enough world-class business building capabilities to create the companies they want to create in Africa. And we are seeing actually a lot of very young, brilliant Africans that maybe study abroad, but when they think about what to do after that, now they know that there's an opportunity to build those companies in the continent. And so
Absolutely.
that's our little contribution.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the brain drain, but we don't talk enough about the great return of the diaspora. Really fascinating speaking with you, Maurizio Kyle, who is the founder and managing partner at TL.com Capital. They've got their Tide Africa 2 fund, which is going to provide an amazing opportunity for entrepreneurs on the continent. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.